Hi everyone. Today we are going to learn about some several types of equations like polynomial equation, radical equations, and equations with rational exponent. Earlier we learned about quadratic equations. And today we are going to learn polynomial equation, radical equations, and equations with rational exponents. And there are some other type of equations. Let's look at what is the polynomial equation. Polynomial equation is the result of setting two polynomials equal to each other. And degree of the polynomial equation is equal to highest power of any term in the equation, right? Highest power is equal to degree of the polynomial equation. So let's consider example to learn how to solve a polynomial equation by factoring method. Here the equation is 2x cubed plus 3x squared minus 2x is equal to 12. As a first step, we move all non-zero terms into the one side to get 0 in other side. So I will move 12 into the left side. Then the equation will become like this. So as a second step, we need to factorize this equation. You can see in first two terms, here x squared is a common term. And in the last two terms, negative 4 is the common terms. Right. If you take out these 4 from last two terms and x squared from first two terms, you can find factors of this polynomial, which is equal to 2x plus 3 and x squared minus 4. So, as a third and fourth step, we are going to equal each factor to 0 and solve for x. So first I equal 2x plus 3 to the 0 and subject x. Then I can get x as negative 3 over 2. Then I will equal x squared minus 4 to the 0, and if you solve this factor, you will get x is equal to plus or minus root 4, which is equal to plus or minus 2. So we can write solution set is negative 3 over 2 plus or minus 2. So these are the solution for the equation 2x cubed plus 3x squared minus 8x is equal to 0. So as a step 5, you need to check the solutions in the original equation. Right? To do this, plug these two solutions into the original equation and check you can get 0 or not. Right? Definitely here you will get 0 when you plug these three values into the equation. Now let's learn about radical equations. In a radical equations, variable occurs in a square root, in a cubic root or any higher root. To solve radical equations with nth roots, we can raise both sides of the equation to the nth power. Right? Let's look at how to solve a radical equation. Here the equation is square root of x plus 3, then plus 3 is equal to x. As a first step, we need to isolate a radical term on one side. So in this equation, what is the radical term? Radical term is square root of x plus 3. So I am going to isolate this term in one side. To do this, I will move plus 3 into the right side. Then as a step 2, you can raise both sides to nth power. Here n is equal to 2. So you can square these two terms, right? If you square these two terms, it will give x plus 3 is equal to x squared minus 6x plus 9. And then solve the resulting equation. Take all the x terms into one side and solve for x. If you solve this equation, you will find the solution as x is equal to 6 and x is equal to 1, like this. Then as a final step, we are going to plug these two values 6 and 1 into our original equation to check is these solutions are real. So let's consider x equal to 6. Then plug 6 into this equation. In right hand side we have 6 and in left hand side, if you simplify left hand side, it will also give 6. So 6 is a solution in the original equation. Then take x equal 1. Plug x equal 1 into the equation. So in right hand side you have 1 and in left hand side you will get 5. So we know that 5 is not equal to 1. This is incorrect. So x equal 1 is not a solution in our original equation. So the only solution is x is equal to 6, right? Then now we are going to learn about equations with rational exponents. Equations with rational exponents. Rational exponents also represent radicals, because here think you have exponents like a to the power m over n. You can rewrite this as nth root of a to the power n. Here inside the bracket you have radical, right? That is why we called rational exponents represent radical. So let's take an example to learn how to solve equations involving rational exponents. Here the equation 5 times x to the power 3 over 2 minus 25 is equal to 0. Isolate x terms, rational terms in one side. To do this, take negative 25 to the right side. Then you have 5 times x to the power 3 over 2 is equal to 25. Then divide both sides by 5. If you divide 25 by 25 by 5, you will have 5. Then get the power of 2 to the 2 over 3 in both sides. Then you will have x is equal to cubic root of 25. The solution of this equation is cubic root of 25. Cubic root of 25. Then as a last part, we are going to learn equations that are quadratic in form. An equation that is quadratic in form is one that can be expressed as a quadratic equation using an appropriate substitution. Let's learn about this by using example. Here you have x to the power 4 minus 5 times x squared plus 6 is equal to 0. Here you can see we can write x to the power 4 as x squared to the power 2. If you substitute u as a x squared, then you can get a quadratic equation, right? If you substitute u to the x squared, you will have u squared minus 5 times u plus 6. Then we need to solve this quadratic equation. You know how to get solution of a quadratic equation. First you need to factorize this and then make each factor is equal to 0 and solve for the u. If you consider first factor u minus 2 and make it equal to 0, then you will have u is equal to 0. Now you can substitute again x squared to the u, because in our original equation we have terms in x, not in u. So we need to put answer in x. So if I substitute x squared to u, then x squared is equal to 2, which gives x is equal to plus or minus root 2. Secondly, consider u minus 3. Again make it equal to 0. Then u is equal to 3 and again substitute x squared to the u and you will have x is equal to plus or minus root 3. So you substitute u as x squared and solve this quadratic equation, and then you got the value, the solution for u. Then you resubstitute x squared to the u and simplify it. So the solution of this equation are plus or minus root 2 and plus or minus root 3. Now let's look at equations involving absolute value. Absolute value of a variable. What it means? It means distance of x from 0 on a number line. How far away x from a 0 on a number line. That is the meaning of absolute value. If you have equations like absolute value of u is equal to c, then this equation is equivalent to u is equal to c or u is equal to negative c. Right? Let's consider an example. Here the equation is absolute value of 2x minus 1 is equal to 5. So we can rewrite this as 2x minus 1 is equal to 5 or 2x minus 1 is equal to negative 5. Then consider each equation and solve for x. Then you will have negative 2 and 3 as a solution set of the equation absolute value of 2x minus 1 is equal to 5. Is equal to 5. Then let's move to the real life application. In this example, they given a formula and it says this formula can be used to model weekly television viewing time in hours. Here I represents annual income. Now as a question they asked what annual income corresponds to 33.1 hours per week watching TV. Right? H is the variable which denote weekly television viewing time. So we need to equal H to 33.1 to get the value of annual income corresponds to 33.1 hours. So let's do it. Equal this H into 33.1 and isolate items. To do this, take 67.6 into the left side and simplify, then divide both sides by negative 2.3. Then you will have root I is equal to 15, which gives I is equal to 225. So, an annual income of 225,000 corresponds to 33.1 hours per week watching TV. So that is how we can use equations in our real life applications. Hope you have an idea about how we solve the several type of equations. Hope you enjoy the lesson. Have a good day.